America was the #1 industrial power in the world by the end of the 19th century. With the development of large-scale industry, factories developed hectic and dangerous conditions. Big business used the unending flood of immigrants and other laborers to fill these factories, leading to the development of labor unions. These unions demanded rights of workers and often used tactics, such as strikes, in an attempt to accomplish this. One of these strikes became very well known, even today, for its severity of events and eventual turn to violence. This was the Homestead Strike of 1892.
The Homestead Strike was a lockout and strike between private security forces and factory workers from the Homestead Steelworks. The strike lasted from June 30th, 1892 until July 6th, 1892, and took place in the town of Homestead, Pennsylvania, located right outside of Pittsburgh and near the Monongahela River. The Homestead Steelworks was a large steel factory that had been acquired by Andrew Carnegie in 1881, integrated into Carnegie Steelworks. It employed about 3,800 workers. Out of the 3,800 workers employed, about 800 were members of the Amalgamated Association of Iron and Steel Workers. This was a craft union representing skilled iron and steel workers. The association grew in number nationally as well as in Homestead. By 1891, there were more than 24,000 members across the country. In years prior to 1892, the Amalgamated Association of Iron and Steel Workers held several strikes at the Homestead Steelworks, many of them successful. But eventually the relationship between workers and managers became strained.
Hurrah! Their choicest treasures then display, hurrah! Hurrah! And let each one perform some part to fill with joy the warrior's heart, and we'll all.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
In 1889, Andrew Carnegie left Henry Clay Frick, a fellow businessman and industrialist, in charge of his company. Frick was against labor unions and along with Carnegie had wanted to break the one at Homestead Steelworks, even though Carnegie was publicly in favor of it. In 1892, Carnegie left for vacation in Scotland. Frick was left behind to negotiate the terms of an expiring labor contract for the union workers at the Homestead Works. The union workers demanded a wage increase, but Frick denied it and countered with a 22% wage decrease. Carnegie supported Frick's decision because he wanted to break the union as well.
Your brain is full of spiders, you've got garlic in your soul.
The Unionists refused to back down, and so on April 30th, 1892, Frick announced that he would negotiate for 29 more days, and if an agreement wasn't reached, then the company would cease to recognize the union. On June 29th, Frick locked the union out of the plant because no agreement had been reached. He also built a 12-foot fence around the plant and constructed observation posts.
Union makes us strong. When the union's inspiration through the workers' blood shall run.
On June 30th, union leaders held a mass meeting and declared that the company had broken the contract by locking out workers a day before the contract expired. The workers agreed to walk out along with some members from the Knights of Labor.
Solidarity forever.
The workers wanted to keep the plant closed, so they patrolled the nearby Monongahela River and guarded the town. Frick contacted the Pinkerton National Detective Agency, a private security force, to help protect the strikebreakers he had hired to fill the vacant factory positions.
We who plowed the prairies, built the cities where they trade, dug the mines and built the workshops, endless miles of railroad laid. Now we stand outcast and starving mid the wonders we have made, but the union makes us strong.
300 Pinkertons arrived on July 6th via the Monongahela River. They arrived at night but were caught off guard by the 10,000 strikers and townsfolk waiting for them. No one knows whether the strikers or the Pinkertons fired the first shot, but a fierce 12-hour gun battle ensued, in which 6 workers and 3 Pinkertons died. Hundreds were wounded. The Pinkertons surrendered and were forced to walk through the town where they were beaten and taunted.
Without our brain and muscle, not a single wheel can turn. We can break their haughty power, gain our freedom when we learn.
Frick heard about the incident and contacted the governor of Pennsylvania for help. On July 12th, the governor sent 8,000 militia to Homestead to protect the strikebreakers who came to work. The strike continued and lasted until November, but by then the union was non-existent at Homestead. Any support left for the strikers evaporated when Alexander Berman, an anarchist Lithuanian immigrant, tried to assassinate Henry Clay Frick on July 23rd. In addition to the local problems caused by the Homestead Strike, the emerging industrial union movement was set back nationally for 40 years, in part due to this violent incident in American history.
Wow, that was enlightening. The Homestead Strike of 1892 is nothing to be laughed at. It demonstrates the never-ending struggle between America's working class and the captains of industry for better wages and working conditions. The strike will go down in history as one of the most violent and intense labor strikes this country has ever seen. Thanks for watching. We've been great.
Come gather round, children, it's high time ye learned about a hero named Homer and a devil named Burns. We'll march till we drop, the girls and the fellas. We'll fight till the death or else fold like umbrellas. So we'll march day and night by the big cooling tower. They have the plant, but we have the power.